Hey Zalivas, this is SUPERZOMGBBQ and today we're going to be starting something I'm really excited about, Pokemon Go. I cannot tell you how long I've been waiting for this game to come out. In fact, it's been delayed several times. The anticipation for this from a lot of people is so much so that the game at the moment, only having been released in certain countries, is constantly down for maintenance because the amount of people using it. The positive side of things, it has meant more gamers than ever are stepping outside into the open world and going to areas they probably would have never even thought of doing themselves. And I think in general that's the aim of Pokemon Go, is to get people more social and people to actually start playing and trading with friends, which I think is a fantastic idea. Now, the way we're going to run things to start off, until I can find a way of doing live action recording, is I'm going to use old recorded stuff that I've done in the last couple of days and going to give you guys the highlights and show you how the game works and commentate over it to start off with. If you let me know in the comment section below if you like that approach or if you want a different approach, alternatively if you think there's something could be done better about the design of the outlay, alternatively is there something better I could do in the gameplay which would make you guys want to watch the videos more. And every like that you leave on the video is only going to increase the possibility of becoming a regular series, so please do that because that is only going to show your support for me. On top of that, this is the first way of me expressing my fandom for Pokemon. I have been a Pokemon fan for a long time, and whilst I know you're itching to get into Pokemon Go and see the gameplay, I think it's good that you guys know the reason why I'm playing Pokemon Go, not just because it's a new fad, it's a new game that's come out. Like most people my age who would have played it in their youth, I bought the cards. I actually got this pack the other day, got myself a pretty swell Bastion X, which is the full art cut off on the card. I also have myself something I got myself around about 3 or 4 months ago, which is what you call a Katsu Kitty 3DS, so I'll be streaming and recording Pokemon Sun and Moon very, very soon. It's a long-term hobby for me, and I cannot wait to make, hopefully, this a series going forward. And if you can let me know in the comment section below, A, how you first came to know Pokemon, and what's your favourite element of the Pokemon series. Are you a huge fan of the card game, the games themselves, the TV series, and the anime or movies, etc., or the merchandise that they provide? Because some of the merch that they do, especially in Japan, is absolutely off the charts. But let's get cracking right into the gameplay right now. I'm going to start off with a little car journey. I was actually a passenger in a vehicle just going to a local industrial estate. As you can see, there's nothing really of interest around this area. However, there's a forest area over there, and I'm going to make my way up this road. I've actually spelled the gameplay for you. If you do want to find me on the game, my username is SUPERZOMGBBQ. If you don't have to spell that, just go and copy my name from the channel. Here is the first Pokemon we're going to catch of the series, which is a Pidgey, which showed up and he knocked the Pokeball away. The first one I picked, managed to get him the second time around, and there's a bit of skill involved in throwing the Pokeballs. It's not just a case of just swiping your hand and just hoping for the best. When you capture each new Pokemon, you're going to get an XP boost as well as some Stardust and also some candy as well, which is called Pidgey Candy, for example. And also, you're going to be able to catch multiple versions of each Pokemon. As you start off, the Pokemon are going to be weaker. As you go onwards, the Pokemon are going to be stronger and stronger and stronger. You can actually take your duplicate Pokemon, and just like you do in the games, and store them away. You can send them back to the professor who introduced you to the game, and also gives you the choice of choosing one of 3 teams as well to be associated with. Every Pokemon you trade back or you send back to the professor is going to give you a Pokemon candy for that Pokemon, which is going to allow you not only to level your Pokemon up bit by bit with Stardust, but also with the candy you're going to be able to use that to evolve your Pokemon to the next level. For example, that Drowsy would go to a Hypno, which I've got a Hypno down there already, which I actually caught in, of all places, in my kitchen. This is a really, really big encounter. Now, I'd seen level CP, which I'll explain what CP is in a second. I'd seen CP 10 up to 80 Pokemon so far. I had a Hypno which was 84 or something, and I'd never seen one that was as big. And I'd seen a couple people on Twitter be able to get Pidgeotos before, and this Pidgeotto just appeared out of nowhere. CP 140, and CP is the point of damage that it will do in a battle. Now at this point, as you can see here, I'm just throwing Pokeballs willy-nilly. There is actually a little bit of a science to it. It's not a huge skill game, but if you wait for the inner circle to match with the outer circle, as you'll see here, I will try to catch that Pidgeotto, but it's not going to work. It's going to kick out at 1, and as you see, multiple attempts, it can either kick out 1, 2, potentially even the 3rd roll. On top of that, it can also dodge and knock your Pokeball away, so be aware of that. But I do wait for this one. I get an idea of exactly how it works. At that point, I get a bit of an idea because I've wasted about 10 or 15 Pokeballs at that point, and I managed to get myself, boom, a Pidgeotto. Thank you very much. And that was the 2nd highest Pokemon rating I'd had, considering I was saving up my Stardust, and I'd used it mostly on a Hypno, which I may refer to as Rohypnol, just because of the bands. Anyway, you can also change the name of your Pokemon at any point. You can actually place them in a gym, which is here, and the gyms are designed to be kind of like area or territories. With the gyms, you deposit a Pokemon there that is going to stay there, and that Pokemon is going to stay there, and it's going to level up that gym by facing other Pokemon. And then eventually you're going to have a high level gym, which means it's going to be more prizes if you go up against higher level Pokemon. Now this place which I had gone to, this gym, was actually a pub of all places. Some people have actually reported churches being gyms as well. Some people actually even reported a gym being a gym, which is crazy. As you can see, the Pokestops are also there. Those have appeared as well. I'll explain about the gyms first, then go through the Pokestops, which are the things with the swinging Pokeball signs, which turn around as well. Now, going to the gyms, face against not only your own Pokemon, which you'll see in a second, me and Pidgeotto go at it. We are going to also see in future episodes where, as I just told you earlier on, I've got guys down the road who have literally just gone to that gym, which is the pub, and actually posted and then kicked out my Pidgeotto. Now, just a warning, if you do place your Pokemon at that gym will hold on to that Pokemon. For example, I've got 2 Drowsies that are sitting over at 2 gyms which no one's found yet in the United Kingdom, because in the United Kingdom the game, it hasn't been completely released yet. As you can see, I managed to beat Pidgeotto there, which then means I can go on again. The problem, unfortunately, with it is that every time you take a loss, or not loss, but a defeat, or your Pokemon faints, you will have to use potions. And I said you've got Drowsy there, which I'm just about to capture, which is awesome, and I can use that to then build up my Drowsy candy to level up my Hypno and potentially make it top rank later on. But I'm going to go to repeated battles against it, and that actually builds up the gym level that you have, which can go up to gym level 3, and I believe you can go further than that in total. But every time that your Pokemon loses, your Pokemon will be returned to your deck. My advice is not to use the Pokemon that basically are your best. I would use the ones that are kind of close to being your best, because if you do lose them or you don't have access to them, you're going to need to potentially have those for harder gym battles in the future. There's something also which is really cool about the game, and you get a couple of these every time you level up. It's something called Incense. Now, Incense is actually a way of effectively getting a Pokemon to come to you, alternatively attracting rarer Pokemon whilst you're walking around. For example, I had a Clefairy, a Squirtle, and a Meowth just randomly appear on the map around my house without me moving at all. But to find the rare Pokemon, you are going to have to travel around a bit. My advice is go to the Pokestops, where you can get access to. Also, if you just stick around the Pokeball sign, you can, which is on there, if you'll see when you see it, and you can then get access to new Pokeballs, potentially potions, revives, even potentially an egg as well, which I've seen a lot of people get. And you get little incubators which you can use for the eggs, and use your GPS to track how many steps you're taking. And the great news with eggs is it does also count, it just counts movement across a map. If you take a car trip, you're probably more likely to get those eggs hatched sooner rather than later. And just like any mobile game, this has an in-house store where you can buy certain items if you want to, if you're not that much of an active player, or you're going to be not around all the time to be able to just go out into town centres and city centres and whatnot at every possible opportunity. You've got the ability there to actually buy some additional bits and pieces as well once it's available in your country. I'll do a couple of additional goes at that Pidgeotto, and I'll show you my actual Pokemon lineup in a moment. You do have a limit on what you can hold in a bag, and also how many Pokemon you can have in your active team. Given that some of you are going to have just started your Pokemon journey, let me know in the comment section below what you took as your starter. My starter was a Bulbasaur, which I just I decided to name a couple of my Pokemon by what I thought would be humorous nicknames. Some people might find it funny, some people might not find it funny. Realizing that I hadn't actually put some potion on Hypno, and I actually had to really fight this one out. As you can see, I immediately go down but almost 2/3 of my health in literally one shot, which is just absolutely crazy. So I managed to somehow survive this. It's a very, very close battle. If I'd lost, I'd have to use a revive, which I believe aren't easy to come by, which is kind of crazy. However, you can also buy those from the store if you wish to. Let me know in the comment section below if you have been lucky enough to capture some of the rare Pokemon. I had a guy earlier on tweet me out that he captured a Magmar and also an Electabuzz, which I was like, wow, that's pretty sweet. A couple other people who in other countries who've captured Mewtwo already, which is just insane. And also let me know in the comment section if you managed to evolve any of your Pokemon to the next level. But that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you thought, and also reply to everything I've mentioned. If you could leave a like on the video, that'd be great. And also remember to follow me on Twitter and also on Twitch, as well as Instagram. Details in the description below. I've also put a link into the description of how I actually made this video and how I put all the pieces together, which is definitely worth your time to read if you are either aspiring or starting, or alternatively you just want another way to record. That's it from me. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Before I leave you, there is my Pokemon squad at the moment. Thoughts, comment section. I'll see you guys very soon. One last thing, as always, guys. Sully!